Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our Hannibal at the Gates campaign. Let's go ahead and just dive right into it. We are fighting in Iberia, and we just noticed this little sneaky army coming through. It looks like we're going to get there in time, although we may not win this fight. So we will have to see. It's our 10,000 men against their 8,000 now. Our army composition is not good. We are just a whole bunch of light infantry. Meanwhile, they actually have those two supply wagons which fight like trash, so we'll see if light infantry is enough. We do outnumber them, unfortunately. Oh yeah, and their morale is just trash compared to ours, and so we are easily going to be able to fight that off. Those light infantry are doing some work, and they are forced to retreat away. Good news for us. We have taken our war goal, we've taken this province. I'm really just waiting to grab just this last little bit of territory, specifically this one fortress, because, well, it has a precious metal mine, and if you can see, I have this mission that says the mines of Iberia. I need to capture basically these two territories, this territory, and this one right here, so there's a better indicator. And those light infantry really did a good job. Good for them. I like having these little provincial armies. I should probably assign one of those to every region that I'm in. Even just those 10,000 little bits of light infantry really do come in handy. Gonna keep going with national commerce income. Always happy to do that. Let's take a look at who's gonna win our next elections. Unfortunately, Agbald gets his second term as a co-suffate. Now, he is a member of the populist faction. Now, unfortunately, that means... Well, and unfortunately, the populist faction is looking very, very popular right now, with 37 seats in the Senate. We are working to change that, though, specifically by giving more faction support to the civic faction. Now, I might lean in heavily into the civic faction because there are a lot of laws that give Senate influence to the civic faction. As you can tell, I've already taken 2 of them, but I could potentially eventually get relocation policy, which is going to give primary culture happiness plus 15%. I could get deny priests in the Senate, pop conversion speed plus 20%. Yeah, yay. Land seizure protocol. Of course, I need some more advancements to do this, although I'm surely got to be close to Civic Advancement 3. I mean, we're 50 years into the game. I know I'm not teching up tremendously quickly. Man, I need to work on that. I definitely am going to need more citizens. Let's take a look at some of these city buildings. I might as well go ahead and increase the number of libraries I have all across my country. Although here, I'm also going to build some theaters. And that's what I have the money for at the current moment. Let's go ahead and relieve this siege. These 28,000 men should be able to handle that really well. Meanwhile, this siege is going along nicely. They don't have a great fort defense. And might as well go capture some more slaves. Alright, so we have the mercantile faction. Seems that they are going to call in some of their favors. He's approached Metello handed in private, reminding him of past favors done for us by the mercantile faction. We knew this day might come, and it would appear that Piltibal is quite insistent that we repay the debt we owe. So we could say it only seems fair. The mercantile will gain a Senate influence of 0.5. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely alright with increasing the mercantile faction. now they're actually going to become more popular than even the populist faction. Always down for that. Unfortunately, I just don't think you're going to have the food that you're going to need to outlast that siege. Speaking of food, how's your food looking? Alright. Your food looks good too. We are going to win into Gil. Could move you into siege instead. Oh no, thinks we're actually going to lose this fight. Can we run away? No, we can't. So, I'm not going to have the food to win the siege anyway, so let's actually just go and see if we can help fight this battle. I don't think we're going to get there in time. They have the better army, but they also have that terrain penalty, so their commander isn't quite as useful. They only have those 15,000 men. We outnumber them, and they have chariots, which are going to do a lot against our light infantry, but we do have these elephants. We're going to take a lot of damage, but for instance, this elephant should do a ton of damage to this light infantry. It's going to be close. Ooh, it's going to be close. They do have some heavy infantry. I think our elephants should hopefully tank. Come on, elephants. As long as the elephants stay there, we're good. Let's see, how many more elephants do we have? So we still have 778 men. Morale of 3.9. Alright. Yeah, they just can't kill these elephants. Their morale is staying the same. Let's see, the heavy infantry might do better against the elephants. Nope, yeah, the heavy infantry destroy the elephants. Are you gonna get there in time? It's gonna be close. In fact, I think we're actually gonna win this fight now. And boom, yeah, nope, too easy. We killed more men than they did. That's always what you want to see. And if this fort would fall, we'd go ahead and finish this war. Yeah, we have some pirate issues. We always have some pirate issues. Yep, the siege fell. Let's go ahead and end the war. Specifically taking this little bit of territory. It's going to give us 8 aggressive expansion. That, I think, is going to be just fine. I could take the city of Elvira as well. Ooh, and honestly, it's just free territory at this point. Might as well take this whole province, right? Yeah, I'm just going to do that. So once again, we are back over 30 aggressive expansion, but we are at peace, so that will start to tick down at 0.13 per month. It's going to hurt us. Wrong culture group is going to hurt us, but we have expanded in Iberia by just a little bit indeed. Let's go ahead and move our army back to this territory. Now, let's hire a kind of field army just to assign to this region. Otherwise, we're going to start suffering from some loyalty penalties. In fact, am I in 2 regions right now? Yes, unfortunately I am in 2 regions. So I probably won't assign an army to this region because I believe we're all in this one province. Cool. That province should stay loyal, even though I did add a couple territories to it. So I will recruit I'm just going to start out with 5 light infantry. That's 5, yeah. So I'll start out with 5 light infantry. I'll assign them to the region. Everyone else, I think, is going to go home. sail you back to Carthage. Perfect. Looks like we have some prisoners abroad that we could try to ransom. No one would complain about that. How much could we ransom them for? Oh my gosh, we could. Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth paying 400 gold to just get a character back. Alright, this light infantry, all of them have officially trained. So let's go ahead, bring them all into one spot, join them into an army, and then assign them to this region. And you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and add 5 more cohorts to the region. I'm going to go ahead and build some farming settlements. Just give me some more grain. Carthage, have you finished becoming a metropolis yet? No, you haven't. But you almost are there. Perfect. Let's check out. Alright, so you are only going to get 8 people to vote for you. So Bomilcar Barca, who is in the Civic faction, will also get 8 people to vote for him. I think the Civic faction is going to continue to gain seats in the Senate, whereas the Mercantile faction is as well, at the expense of the... Man, the military faction is almost irrelevant right now. Ooh, slave happiness. I'll take local slave happiness. We're in a position where we can keep building some more... Oh no, actually first let's deal with this event. We have our granaries raided. We've received word from the local officials that the province of Metagonia, that several important provincial food stockpiles have been looted by malcontents owing to the contempt for the government across the area. It seems they hope to make tensions worse by forcing a hungry people into action. Well, we could lose a bunch of money. He could lose some loyalty. But the province loyalty would increase by 10. Once again, I think I'm just going to go with this one. We're going to lose some manpower and political influence, but I think it's the best option we have. I believe since you are a port, as well as already have a fort, when I get a chance, I'm going to turn you into a city. So I just need 200 gold for that. And that will give me a chance to start converting pops here, because right now they are all of the Iberian culture and of the Iberic religion as well. What kind of bonuses does the Iberic religion give? Is there a way for me to see that? Ooh, what are these free state investments? Various actions may grant you free province investments which can be used in place. Oh, yeah, I've ran into those before. Making 21.51 gold per month, and you can see now that we are in the... What map mode was this? Was this religious map mode? Yeah. So you can see that all of our religious converting is starting to pay off. We are turning a bunch of people into good Canaanite religioned folk. Oh, gonna get Mentagra. Let's actually take a look at culture map mode now. We're still kind of struggling with culture, but we're getting there. After all, if we take a look, most of our provinces are, they have the governor policy to increase or to convert your religion, which is of course just fine. That will, in the end, make it faster to convert culture. In fact, let's just pick a province real quick. How about... yeah, was it you that was giving me so much issues earlier on with province loyalty? Yes. Having an army definitely helps. And here we still have a lot of people of the Massalian culture, but we actually now have a majority of people in the Canaanite religion, so good. And let's look here. Yeah, we're converting a lot of people, good. Let's actually go ahead and make that a little bit faster. I'm going to build a temple as well as... Actually, I'm going to hold off on building a theater for now, because what I really want to do is come here and build a city. I might also build a city here, too. Oh, this is already a city. Good. I'm going to go ahead and grab this third navy, bring my 10,000 cavalrymen back home. This little, I'm going to call this the, actually I'm going to rename this army. We call them the 1st Iberian Army. Some issues tend to divide the house, and none more so than foreign policy. Ain't that the truth? Whilst it was being debated in the Senate, Agbal Budana approached our Cephate and offered the support of a large portion of the populist faction. I'm going to say that this could end badly. Unfortunately, our guy will lose some popularity, and Agbal will lose 20 loyalty, but you know what? He's super disloyal anyway. Place these 10,000 men into some ships, and we will move them back to their quick strike port of Misua. Alright, I'm going to go back to Quart. Or Quartan. And I think I'm going to go ahead and build 2 temples here. Interesting, our Suffolk gains dysentery. Well, I hope he doesn't poop himself to death. Which is what can happen with dysentery. Don't we live in a great time these days that we're not worried about getting dysentery and pooping ourselves to death? Sorry if that's a little vulgar, sometimes you just have to think, man, we've come a long way as a species. Let's see, I don't really see a reason for a granary here, so let's go ahead and just get rid of that. And the training camp is fine, but for now I'm going to get rid of it as well. I'll leave the tax office for the time being, and instead we are going to focus on building a temple and a theater. For now, I'll build one of each. Meanwhile, what is the governor policy here? The governor policy should definitely be, let's go with religious conversion first. Let's see, that's going to help our pop conversion speed. Our first pop will convert in like 5 years, so it's not super fast. It'll be faster in the cities once the temples are finished building. But we are getting there. We are slowly converting all these people into our faith. Speaking of, I guess I could go ahead and build some temples and such here. Let's go with we'll do a temple first. Let's get this little city of Quirton. Let's actually go with 2 temples for now. We'll get 2 temples in Quirton. I don't think you need an aqueduct, so let's go ahead and delete that. And now we'll build a theater. So we're definitely going to go on a kind of a building spree, at least until we get temples and everything everywhere. Then we can, of course, change it. What about you here? Okay, you're very much where I want you to be. So I could actually just think about building some good buildings for you here. Probably going to go with a library. To start with, at least. What about this little city? Is this a city? No, it's just a settlement. It does produce fish, though. I could build a farming settlement here. I love all of the Quarta. Quartan. Quarta. There are all these little cities named Quart or Quart. We have some barbarians. Well, we have a speedy little army to help deal with those. I could also build more men into these regional armies, although actually where we are right now, I think at this point I use the regions so much, the region map mode so much, that I think I'm going to switch it with the supply map mode, at least for now. So yeah. Nope, that's the religion, not region. Whoops. Let's go to region. Switch it. Now it's right there. So now I have provinces and regions, just like in the old days when I had all of my map modes very handily put together. I'm going to go ahead and move these 9,000 men. Let's see if they can defeat these barbarians. It would not appear like that is going to be something that they're able to do, but we'll give it a shot. Influence of the Hannibal family. We can just invite someone in. Let's invite you because you're a member of the Civic faction, and it seems like the Civic faction, they're going to be winners. Alright, we have a new researcher spot available. This is a really good chance to groom someone for later office. You're 74 years old, so you're not going to have much of a chance for later office, but honestly, I just like the fact that your score is so high, so you'll help us move that on a little quicker. Oh, and indeed, it actually does look like this little army of light infantry is going to be just fine, but we're going to move these horsemen in anyway, and we're going to easily win that fight, and we'll just continue on and destroy these barbarians. Perfect. There we go. I'm going to keep chasing them. Let's go ahead and finish them off. Yeah, sure, I'll trade with Rome. Why not? It's not like they're going to be super powerful or anything, right? Ooh, a small favor. Well, I don't really want to gain 5 support for the populist faction, so I'm going to say that that is a dreadful suggestion. Ooh, and Agbald is going to lose some prominence. Good riddance. I don't like Agbald to be super prominent. It doesn't make me happy. Meanwhile, we're making almost 30 ducats per month. That is major. It allows us to keep building. Let's see. In this city, we are actually doing fairly decently with our pops for now. We have a rival at court. Lately, our suffate Metallo Hanid has come into conflict with Baal Barca at every turn and decision. Their opinions persistently clashing. If one of them says south, the other will promptly say north. Well, we could lose 15 popularity and he will gain 10 popularity. Or he could lose 10 loyalty. I'm just going to have him lose 10 loyalty, then I'm going to come over here. My main man. He has several rivals. I'm happy with Agbal being a rival. I don't really want you to be a rival, so I'm going to just remove you as a rival. Might as well bring in some base metals here. And anything else? Nah. I do need a new governor. Let's see, you're only 29 years old. Is there someone maybe I could groom for leadership to take over this role? How about you? You're 34 years old. You're going to gain a bunch of statesmen. You are a member of the mercantile faction. I like the mercantile faction. Let's have you be the governor here. Also, because you're the governor, we're going to get local citizen and freeman happiness up. Perfect. Happy about all that? Happy about all that. We are... I'm going to go ahead, I think, and just build a bunch of horsemen down here, right? No, where are my horsies located? Horses? Horses? Where are you, horses? There's some horses. Alright. There they are. There are horses all over the place. So let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to do it just over here. Nope, I'm going to go back over here. We're here somewhere. Let's recruit some cohorts. Just for now, let's go ahead and just do scouts. Ooh, the grace of the gods. Our pious suffate Metallo Hanid is a proud spokesman for the pontiffs of Carthage and the glorious gods they serve. A large portion of his vote came from those who argue that temples of Carthage have long been in need of renovations. Metallo went even farther, however, and proposed the construction of a modest temple to a fashionable and growing cult of Reshef, particularly popular with the lower classes. In spite of this, co-suffate Agbal Badana has been unrelenting in his appraisal of the motion, holding forth at length on the fine quality of our temples, and arguing against needless and expensive pandering to the whims of fashion where far more deserving deities lack the same attention. As things stand, there is no longer a clear majority for the project. We could say that we serve the gods. We're going to pass our full agenda anyway, no matter what Agbal says. Well, I'm kind of cool with that, but an event chain will follow. Or perhaps we can shoehorn another temple into the bill. We're going to try to make some concessions. We're going to gain some loyalty from Agbal. We're going to gain political influence. Okay, here's the thing. It might be wise to go to shoehorn another temple into the bill. But I, personally, not necessarily Metallo, but I don't like Agbal. He's been the bane of my existence for a little while in this campaign. And you know what? It seems like Metallo doesn't really like him either. After all, Agbal is a rival. So you know what? I'm just going to do this to spite Agbal. I don't know what's going to happen, but we will see. And I would love to, well, imprison him, honestly. When will he just die? He's 56 years old, so he's probably got a little while left in him. And he's been the leader of the populist faction for a long time. And while he has honestly been not the greatest leader for the populist faction because his charisma score is only at 5, and I think they have someone even more influential in the works behind him, right now he is the bane of my existence. Ooh, do you know what I could think about doing? Well, I'll get to that in a second. I'm going to say we serve the gods. Cool. I could go into the characters tab, and I could try to influence characters, show characters. I could try to influence who will be the next leader of the populist faction. Now, I don't necessarily want it to be this Milkaram. I want it to be someone with super low charisma. So let's come over here. Let's go to charisma, and now let's find the person with the lowest charisma score. That is also a male in the populist faction. Alright, well, so far, not great. There are not a ton of people in the populist faction, it appears. A lot of people in the religious faction. Alright, well, no, you're a female. You're not going to hold office. Alright, so it's you. Uptan Gisco. Alright, so I want him to be the next populist faction leader, which means I am actually going to do something that I wouldn't normally do, and I am going to put him in charge of an army to increase his... Yeah, I'm going to put him in charge of an army for now to increase his prominence. Once he has a high enough prominence, I believe when Agbal dies, Yuptan, having the highest prominence of those members of the populous faction who are eligible, those being the men, I believe the way it works is it will make him the new leader of the populous faction. That is something I am kind of all for. So let's go ahead and Yuptan Gisco. Let's go ahead and try to find a nice little army for him to be in charge of. Well, heck, I'm building some horsemen right now. When those horsemen finish, I'll put him in charge. Ooh, progress in the Senate. The religious bill proposed by the Suffate comes to a vote in a few days, and without the support of the co-Suffate Agbal, some other means of securing ballots will need to be arrived at. The power of the religious faction is often understated. There are many God-fearing senators who will not pass up an opportunity to glorify the deities and have their names carved into marble. By invoking our influence with the augurs, we can ensure the correct result in the poll, though it may be setting a dangerous precedent. I'm going to say that the pious hold far more power than some think. We're going to gain some popularity. Agbal is going to lose 10 loyalty. He already hates me. We are... Ooh, it says that this is going to affect our stability. We're going to do it. We're going to keep going with national commerce income. The Hannibal Shrine. Alright, the vote on the most pious bill of Suffate Metallo was passed easily and with much rejoicing after several positive auguries. A victory no doubt assured by Father Baal, Haman, and all the gods who must surely smile the great honors they will receive. Several of the most important temples in the capital will be renovated, and a new festival is planned to coincide with the unveiling of the shrine to Reshef. The opening occasion is slated to be among the most well-attended public events in Carthage for quite some time, and people are uncharacteristically enthused with religious fervor. So, Metallo, he gains 10 popularity, so he is going to be one of our most popular rulers we've ever had. Carthage gains 5 support for the religious faction. Agbal, the Laos himself, is going to lose 20 loyalty. Carthage is going to lose 5 support for the populous faction. That's great. We are unfortunately, though, going to lose 10 stability, but get state religion happiness plus 10% and omen power plus 10% for the next 15 years. Alright, well, we'll have to just deal with the negative stability. And that is going to help us bring the populous faction out of power. Excellent. Excellent. Good job. He's not only popular in the Senate, but now he is one of the most popular men on my calendar as well. Alright, so who was I going to hire? It was going to be that Yuptan Gisco. He is a lousy general, but now as a general he is going to get 31 prominence, so I believe he is now one of the most prominent members of the populous faction. So let's go ahead and find the populous faction. Yes, they're up here. There they are. There's not very many of them. And let's look at their prominence. Yeah, so he is now the most prominent member of the faction. Perfect. Let's go ahead. I'm going to add a couple more. Scouts to his army. He's eventually going to go all the way to Iberia and combine with this army, but we'll have to find another little army for him, for this man to take control of, because we want him to be the most prominent member. Why do I want him to be the most prominent member of his faction? Well, if you take a look, because Agbal has a charisma of 5, his influence that he contributes to the populous faction is his charisma score times 2. Really, it's his charisma score divided by 10 times 2. So because he has it by 0.5, or he has a charisma score of 5, divided by 10 is 0.5 times 2, which is 1. If Gisco takes over, his charisma score is 3, which means you'll divide it by 2, and that is 0.15, or divided by 10, which is 0.3 times 2. No, wait, so sorry. His charisma score is 3, divided by 2 is 0.15, or is 1.5. Wait. Sorry, my math is getting all mixed up. His charisma score is 3. Divided by 10 is 0.3. Times 2 is 0.6. So basically, he just isn't near as efficient as at increasing populist faction support as Agbal has been. So, good. Sorry, that took me a minute to get through, but I believe that is correct. We have a new city. Good for it. Let's go ahead and in said new city increase the assimilation speed and the conversion speed by building, I'm going to go with 2 temples, or 2 theaters and a temple. And we do have a new election coming up. Looks like we are going to kick the populist faction out. Hopefully they won't have another member become a co-suffate for quite some time. Agbal's time in office has been marked with relative obscurity. He has not been able to pass any populist legislation. He was not even able to stop us from passing our great bill that gave us that religious celebration. And yeah, we have a new member of the Senate. Palatibal Badana is going to be the new man in charge. Unfortunately, people don't really like him. But I actually do, because with the mercantile faction in place, we're going to get an initial 10% commerce income. And we also are going to get his stats. We have some Scorn families. We have a province that lacks a governor, though, so can we just put one of our Scorn family members in charge of that? Ooh, that would be Agbal. I don't really want to put Agbal in charge of a region. You know what? Where is good old Agbal? There he is. Oh, and a member of his family. Alright, so... do they have anyone about to come of age? Yeah, so they do in 2 years. I think I'm not going to put Agbal in charge of anything. He is just kind of the black sheep of the family. He's disloyal to the state. I don't want him in charge. That is where, unfortunately, I have to end it for today. I think this is a good time to end it. After all, we have a brand new leadership in office. Yeah, I think we are good to go as far as laws go for now. We do have a new governor that we will need to appoint when we come back. But that is all the time I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, and if you want to see what Rome continues to do, I see you, Rome, expanding in Iberia and Gaul. Good for you, good for you. One day we will challenge you, that's for sure. But if you want to see what happens, go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Also, go ahead, hit that like button if you made it this far into the video. You have really no excuse not to hit the like button, and I will catch you on the next one.